Road tunnels that carry one of the busiest commuter routes in the country are to close later tonight and stay closed for 6 weeks. Many drivers are predicting traffic chaos, especially during next Monday morning's rush hour.
Well, the closure is to allow vital repairs to be carried out. Motorists are being advised to find alternative forms of transport or to use park and ride. Here's our transport correspondent, Keith Wilkinson.
It's the first time it's happened on this scale in more than 40 years. For tens of thousands of commuters, it seems unthinkable to be without the St Chad's and Queensway tunnels in Birmingham. But from 10 o'clock tonight, you won't be able to do this. Enter the tunnels. Don't say you haven't been warned. The tunnels are about to close for 6 weeks. Now, of course, these tunnel closures will be planned rather than sudden and unexpected. But in the past, the slightest of problems inside the tunnels have caused absolute pandemonium across the city. This is a clip from a report I did for Central News back in 1985.
The gas leak caused tailbacks stretching for miles. Every major route into the city centre was jammed with traffic, and many motorists faced delays of more than an hour. Workmen were on the scene for hours trying to plug the leak, which has caused some of the worst congestion ever seen in the city. Tempers flared as motorists waited in the rush hour, and there's even been reports of drivers fighting with one another.
Extremely busy location, this.
Yeah, this is the main route through the city centre and carries a huge amount of traffic, and obviously we're very conscious that that will have an impact on the city when we close it.
The tunnels, built in the 1960s, are in need of major refurbishment. While they're closed, there will be diversions. But drivers are being urged to use park and ride, go by train or metro tram, or by bus, or cycle, or walk.
During the tunnel closures, we will be monitoring traffic on a daily basis from our central traffic control centre, where we've got control of all the traffic signals, and we've got cameras and extra cameras indeed placed around the city, so we can be monitoring the traffic patterns and levels of congestion, and we can respond accordingly.
Kerry Allen commutes by rail from Worcester. She says her trains are already packed. Here's a commuter eye view of New Street this week, when there were a number of delayed services.
On the way home from Birmingham, some evenings I don't get a seat even getting on at New Street, and that's where it starts. So if everyone's going to start here and go back my way, I think it's just going to be chaotic.
Well, trains aren't rammed, actually. Trains can be busy, but we're over the summer period where people take their holidays. There is some extra capacity there, so try and give one of the 6,500 park and ride spaces we've got available in the West Midlands a try. Jump on the train, and you'll easily get into Birmingham, and you can do your bit by helping to avoid some congestion in the city centre.
I spoke to a number of train drivers off camera, and they said lots of them get to work not by rail, but by car. So what if they get delayed? And won't the buses get stuck too?
No, I don't think they will. We've been working very closely with Amy, Birmingham City Council and Centro to devise some bus priority measures which should reduce the amount of, or any delay that buses experience, so they'll be able to bypass the queues.
Alex Byworth goes everywhere by bike and recommends it, especially for the next 6 weeks.
It's going to be chaos for the car drivers, but because I cycle, I don't really care. I mean, for me, it's getting off your car, out of the car, and onto your bike is the best way to get around the centre of town. Public transport's brilliant as well in Birmingham.
Car drivers are expecting the worst, and that could be bad for business in Birmingham if visitors choose to stay away.
I will not come into the city. bottom line, because it will be too difficult. And actually, you'll just never be able to get out. Even if you can get in, getting out will be just horrendous.
Chaos. It's chaos now, I find, so it'll be much worse.
I think I'd avoid driving and just get the bus instead.
The first big test for the closure plans will be rush hour Monday morning. Only then will we know if the city can cope.
Well, let's talk now to our transport correspondent Keith Wilkinson, who is at a site overlooking the A38. And Keith, we know people are worried, indeed they're fed up that this is going to cause chaos. So why is the work being done completely by closing these tunnels and not being done at night?
Well, they're saying that rather than the work going on for months and months, maybe at night and at weekends, they want to get the whole thing dealt with in one big hit, unpopular though that might be. But this is not going to be the end of the matter. There's going to be 6 weeks more closures of tunnels next year, also in July. And I can tell you business people are not very happy with that situation. The tunnels closed completely, 10 o'clock tonight. And there is an EDL protest over the weekend, but the big test is going to be Monday. And all the drivers I've spoken to say they're expecting chaos.
OK, Keith, pains me to say it, but thank you very much indeed. Just incidentally, if you're somebody who travels regularly to the East Midlands, there's a warning of travel problems there as well. From tomorrow, Nottingham Station is being closed for 5 weeks for a £100 million upgrade.
And you can find details of that and more information about the closure of the tunnels in Birmingham on our website, itv.com/central. It is depressing reading, I'm afraid.